All right, folks. How's everybody doing? We're all doing well. Hello, Jamie, Greg. Hello, Heather. Hello, Godfrey Bear. What's up, Nick? Hello, Maria Fury, and everyone else who has joined the live Q&A, live pregame game, or pregame show. I've got an hour or so from now where the Baldr video that I recorded is going to be premiering. So after this live stream is done, hopefully you will be redirected to the premiere video when it starts. So that will that's also pinned in the live chat thread or live chat section there. So you guys be sure to stick around for the next hour with me while we got a rune set I'm going to be starting, actually, a birchwood rune set. I'm a bit behind because the materials that I needed to procure were, shall we say, hard to procure. So what's up? Tabbed out and just got a heck of a fright. Oh, okay. Well, hello there. How's everybody doing tonight? Greetings from the forest. Godfrey Bear, yes, greetings to you. Got tea and we're good to go. Awesome. Well, I hope everyone's doing well. Thanks so much for, like I said, tuning in to the live stream. And I'm open to answer questions and or just talk about some stuff for the next hour while I work on this this rune set. For everybody that has that's here right now, that was in the last 3-year celebration for Midgard Musings. If you guys were in that live stream and you won a prize from like the trivia or from the giveaway, all of those, like the decals and stuff like that, all that stuff has either already been shipped out or was shipped out the following day, or it was shipped out within a week of that live stream. So your items are in the mail if you haven't received them yet. What's up, Isaiah? What's poppin', he says. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Yeah. Man, it's going all right, You know what I mean? It's going all right. It's going pretty good, I would say. I am just chilling today. Spent some time with my wife earlier. We went and grabbed a bite to eat with some, we got some sushi. Well, I ate sushi. She ate hibachi because she doesn't like sushi. She doesn't like sushi. It's like Sean Connery in here. Runes will take about a month to get. Yeah, Maria, you're all the way out in New Zealand, which, by the way, I thank you for sending in the podcast message. I got it, and next week's podcast we'll be sure to feature you on there. So it's very kind and nice of you to kind of call in and send your regards all the way from New Zealand. So thank you so much for that. But yeah, just rest assured that everything's been sent out, and it will be arriving to you when it does. What is your opinion on oath rings, Jamie, Greg? Hey, John Watkins, and Isaiah's got a question too. I mean, my opinion on them, I wear one around my finger. That is an oath ring to me because it's an oath that I swore to be, faithful and loving and devoted and caring to my wife. So I think that if you take upon yourself to wear an oath ring, that you should know what the power of the oath holds and what the power of oathing and the importance of oathing is, and to not take it lightly. So what I think of oath rings is that they are a physical representation of the sacredness of the oath, and it kind of is there as if you would need one, a reminder of the sacred oath that you took or gave, and what your obligations are and where your obligations and responsibilities lie. That's what I think of them. Isaiah says, "When did I become a Norse pagan?" Um, that's a hard date. Like I would say I've probably been pagan now for like the last six 6 years. Um, yeah, I'd say about 6 years. And it's an interesting thing to label it as such because when I look back on the way I was raised, right, it wasn't a pagan lifestyle, but the day-to-day sort of things were inherently heathen, even though I was not raised as a heathen. So, how long have I been pagan? How long have I been following this religion? I'd say about 6 years. So here we go, guys. I'm working on a birch rune set, and then I actually have two more rune sets to start working on. This one, I believe, is going up to the Midwest. No, I believe this one's going up to Pennsylvania. So that's how I like to decorate you know, the birch wood style, little flecks around the edges, give them some texture. And then I've got a driftwood set and a another birch set. Birch is getting harder to find around here for me, so it takes a little while to sometimes get the equipment. Not just the equipment, I meant the product. I've got the equipment, and I'm the service provider. I need to get the goods. Got to get the goods. Alex, howdy. Nick has been on Saw True for about 10 years. Good. Did you guys and gals out there hear about um, this craziness that allegedly is going on with Panera? I usually don't like follow the media type of whatever, but apparently there's been a pagan in Pennsylvania who has a lawsuit open against Panera for allegedly terminating her employment for the fact that she was pagan. You guys have heard of that, but apparently that's what's going on. That's what happened. Pretty crazy. Um, Jamie Gregg. Oh, thank you. Maria says wonderful perspective on oaths and oath rings with a lovely super chat donation of $10 New Zealand. Thank you so much, Maria, for always supporting this. What we do here on the stream, and it's always nice to see you here. So thank you so very much for your donation and super chat. Isaiah, thank you, Jamie. I appreciate your response. Isaiah is a bit new here to the channel and was wondering if you could tell a bit about yourself. If you don't want to, you don't have to. Oh yeah, always happy to briefly describe myself or introduce myself. So thank you for stopping by, Isaiah, and looking to learn a bit more. But I am married to my wife now. We will be married for over 4 years in just a few weeks. On the 21st is our 4-year wedding anniversary. I've been living in the state of Tennessee for 15 years, originally from the state of New York. I work in IT. I have 3 dogs. I was raised as a Christian, and over the years just kind of was looking for my way, looking for my own spirituality, even though I was raised in a pretty devout and strict environment. And then, like I said, about six or so years ago, I discovered what I became to learn is called in modern times also true, and have learned a lot over the years from what I started when I first started, getting into this. Where I was back then is nowhere. I've come a long way since then, but that's a little bit about me. Keep watching my content and you'll learn more. I appreciate it. You watched Ocean's video on that, Maria? I did too. I was there for the live stream, or for the live premiere of that, and did a little bit of digging or looking and stuff myself. And it's I don't know, like I'm kind of like of the opinion, like it's a little bit too early to start making any assumptions or allegations about anything one way or the other. It sounds like the people who were involved need to be reprimanded and terminated from their employment for doing something like that. But I don't know if it needs to be, Panera, the corporation itself, if it falls back on their values. I think this was an terrible isolated incident, but not one that necessarily reflects poorly on Panera. There's Urus. So, my member of a kindred in Tennessee, Isaiah, I actually have started a very small tribe in our area, and it's just myself and a few other folks. So I am in my own kindred, or tribe, as we call it. Here we are the Hlyridi folk. Hlyridi folk is like a nod to Thor. One of Thor's kennings is the Thunderer, and Hlyridi is another name that he gets referred to and called by in like the lore. So Hlyridi folk is the people, Thor's people, or I think the translation of Hlyridi was thundering storm, like a thundering storm. So we are the people or the folk of the thundering storm in our area, because there are so many storms. Like Thor just kind of like hangs out here a lot. Even in the winter, there's thunderstorms. So it made sense to name the tribe that, and it was kind of a unanimous, agreed upon decision to call it that. So that is who we are. Watched Ocean's video. Yeah, horrified because it's very rare for that to happen in New Zealand because of our employment laws. Yeah, I think every place is going to be widely different, maybe some similarities, but there's a lot of, Better Business Bureau and people are protected, civil rights, all kinds of stuff. It does, from the allegations that the lady is putting out there, that it went all the way up to like the district manager level at Panera. And man, like it looks like an HR nightmare. Sounds like an HR nightmare, to say the very least. So hopefully it all gets sorted out. But yeah, that's I've been fortunate. I was talking to one of the other members of our tribe, is also a very dear friend of mine, and he holds the title of Gothi in our tribe, and we were talking a bit yesterday about that situation, right? And I said, I guess I've just been really fortunate, because for as long as I've been pagan, I've never felt any sort of like, I want to call it persecution, or I've never been like attacked or singled out because of that. And I live in a part of the country which is referred to as the Bible Belt, right? Lots of conservative Christian type people in this area. And again, like I myself was raised Christian, and even though my family is like not too happy with my decisions, they respect it, and we don't, try to force things down each other's throats. Yeah, exactly. Like Isaiah said, you would expect Hobby Lobby or something. And I thought, well, man, is, Panera now going the way of Chick-fil-A? Because Chick-fil-A is also a very openly Christian place, same as Hobby Lobby. Yeah, I was like, damn, are they going in that direction? Are they following after the ways of Chick-fil-A or Hobby Lobby? I guess that remains to be seen. I never ate there to begin with. We used to get bagels from there. That was about like the greatest thing that we thought of Panera for was their baked goods, because it wasn't half bad. So, idiot who did it realizes about W policeman. Wow, Jamie, I was just reading your comment there. That's nuts. Huh. Yeah, and the funny thing is around here, not necessarily funny, like not haha funny, but one of the things about Tennessee is it's an at will employment state, which means you can get hired at will and fired at will. They can terminate, a company can terminate your employment without giving you any reason why. You know, they just, for whatever reason, they wanted to terminate your employment, and Tennessee is an at-will employment state, which means the employers can fire their employees without any formal or reason provided. Isaiah, do I feel like the heathen community is divided on some topics? I think that the division that you're asking about, that's a loaded question. Yes, sometimes it's not the worst thing in the world to be divided on topics. And to the extent that some things are just, it's not to be it's not meant to be incorporated into heathenry, I think. Now, opinions aside, there's also a lot of division in heathen communities about how things should be done with regard to the religion. Well, you should celebrate the holiday at this time of year, or you should do bloat with this way, or conduct your ceremony that way. And there's a lot of difference of opinions with that as well. So yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty much with almost any community, you know what I mean? Not just heathen communities, but I think you get enough people together that display different ideas of a similar notion of something, there's going to be differing of opinions, and a lot of, that can lead to contention or division. But it's part of just working through things and finding that middle ground, finding that happy ground, and sticking with it. Do I have a Discord? I don't. I don't. I've got a Facebook page, and I do YouTube here. I've also got a podcast. You can find me on Spotify. It's called Random Heathen Ramblings, and I usually try to do a podcast once a week. But I don't get around on Discord. My job is in IT. I'm a team lead for a media service desk. So like my life is literally submerged in IT stuff. And the last thing I want to do after being in chat groups and Zoom meetings and stuff all day is sit on around in a Discord server. It's not my thing. Seen a lot of great success with some people that I know that run them in terms of building their audience. I think I would, they have some like Ocean, I believe, and Wolf the Red. Those guys either run or are in Discord servers with like thousands of people, and their platform is blowing up like crazy. I have a Patreon. Yes, I do, Alex. If anybody's interested, let me get the link for everybody. Hey, what's up, Dingo? Just talking about you earlier, man. Dingo and the moderating the chat moderator. He's the guy I was telling you guys about, my Gothi. But the link tree that I just posted over there is all the links to everything that I have or do. I've got, Patreon. I've got merchandise. So if you buy merchandise, you get some pretty neat threads, and I get a cut of the sale. So, I mean, if you guys are looking for ways of supporting that way, feel free to, become a patron. Or I'm working on having things here on YouTube as well, where you can become a member of Midgard Musings on YouTube, and it gives you like early access to videos that I put out, or maybe even some exclusive one-on-one live streams or calls or chats with me. So I'm looking to maybe get into that. I have some opportunity there as well. So stay tuned for those that want to be the first to know about things or get exclusive special opportunities with me here, you guys might be having that coming out pretty soon. So there we go on Seuss. One of my favorite runes. Yep. All right. Yep. Here's a riddle. What has to be broken before you can use it? Nice. I love riddles. I like riddles, but I'm also not like the quickest to answer on them. Feel like if I was Bilbo Baggins having to do a riddle war with Gollum, then I would be probably eaten. Oh, okay, an egg. I see your answer there. Nice. Oh, thank you, Alex. Just cheering over here. I mean, cheers and cheering me on. I mean, like you guys are awesome just to be here. I mean, that's really and truly um, the most that I could ask for anybody. You know what I mean? Just being in the live chat, helping the channel grow and reach different audiences. You know what I mean? All over the world. It's anything that you want to help do monetarily is greatly appreciated. But all of your, just being here, for your evening, afternoon, morning, whatever it is, that's plenty. So we've got at the top of the hour coming up, we've got the Baldr video, so once this live stream ends, once we end this live stream in like the next, I don't know, it's almost half past the hour, isn't it? Yeah, it's like 20 past the hour. So like in 40 minutes, you guys can just hop over there to that and meet me over there. It's going to be about a 15-minute long video, not too terribly long, but hopefully it'll be something fun for you guys to think about. I shot it in a little bit of a different format too. So there's that. Let's see here. Lancaster, UK. That's right. Yeah, we got Jamie Gregg in the UK. We've got Maria over in New Zealand. Isaiah says, "What's your opinion on the Facebook communities outside of your own? What are they like?" I don't know because I don't really engage in too many of them. Isaiah, I've got two groups that I'm primarily focused on besides the one in our area. Because I know those people, I've talked to those people. Those people have been featured on this channel before, and I trust them to a degree, having never met them in person, but knowing them for long enough, building a sense of some sort of a relationship with them, such as it is over long distance. But it's been good, and I've wanted to foster that. So I don't know too much. Most of what's out there is rubbish. I'll just put it that way. I don't have to be in a lot of groups to know what's out there. It's a lot of it is just garbage, and you're not going to really get a whole lot of anything of value. Yeah, it can be entertaining, but it seems like people are just out there to, hail Odin, bro, and I'm a Viking, and Ragnar Lothbrok is my second cousin's uncle's grandfather, twice removed on my mother's side, and I'm also Rollo's descendant. That's I don't, so there's a lot of that, and for me and my heathenry, like that doesn't I don't need a lot of that, and it's not useful for me right now in my stage of heathenry. Don't have anything against it. If that's all you're looking for, then great, but it's also just kind of like not what I find interesting. So Jesse, what's my opinion? How do you get onto the other video, Jamie? There's a link that's posted or that's pinned rather to this live chat. But I should have it set up here where you guys will just get redirected once this live stream ends. Once I turn it off, it's going to redirect you to the other live stream. Not live stream, but the video premiere. Yeah. So 13 UK. How do you think about EA co-editing's video on Osatru? Chainmail, welcome to the live chat. Didn't see you there before. Sorry, I was just catching up on some people's comments. It's been such a long time since I watched any of his stuff, and I think I unsubscribed a while ago just because of how I'll have to go back and come back to you on that. I'll see. I don't remember. I think I've seen it, but I don't remember enough of it to give you an honest answer. What's your opinion on some of the hardline attitudes that demand people only use mead or something alcoholic in offerings and bloats? Asking because we have new people here, and it's your soapbox. So, with regards to that, Maria, the hardline approach to things in terms of bloat has to be done. Bloat is one thing or another. And sacrifices are not the same as offerings, or any of these other like really what I would call like hardcore. Maybe I don't know. It seems like that type of approach, Maria, really is found within like the hardcore reconstructionist or historical reconstructionist types, where they're like, look, absolutely not. Are you able to sacrifice to the gods unless you do it this, and this way, because that's like their thing. They're gonna go entirely based off of what the historical sources say were done or weren't done. And I've said it many times in my videos of what my approach is. I'm not 100% that way. I'm not a hardcore reconstructionist, but I'm also not kind of all fluffy bunny willy nilly out here. I like to draw from the historical sides of things and learn how our ancestors did it, because if it worked then, it can work now. And so I like to pull a lot from what I do nowadays in modern time. It's learning from the past and building towards the future, practicing living old ways in modern times. It's literally on all of my intro videos, practicing old ways in modern times. So when it comes down to like the use of alcohol or whatever for bloat, like it really boils down to what is your ultimate approach to that. I use alcohol for bloat for a specific reason. It might be mead, it might be wine. But that's solely based on the intent behind what I'm doing, right? Why I'm doing it. There's a reason why I do it the way I do it, or we do it the way we do it. There's intent is behind it all. The journey along the way is things that you learn and things that you pick up. So to answer your question, Maria, it's what did our ancestors do? Like, what did they offer? Like, there was a lot more to it back then, like people didn't sacrifice to the gods every day. At least that's not what we've come to learn. It was, the gods were engaged by the community at certain and very specific times of the year for specific reasons. And they would give and they would sacrifice things that were no longer of use to them, or that would render them useless for themselves, right? So they would sacrifice something to the gods that they could have used for their own. And it was, it was a very specific approach. I don't think there was a lot of people that were making mead and stuff to the extent that was probably something that was a bit of a treat for those holy tides, for those specific reasons. So nowadays it's just way more accessible. I think it gives an opinion that our ancestors would never have changed or grown, and they would have. Yeah, they would have, and they did. They had to. They had to kind of adjust. You can say it's tools for any ritual as long as it holds meaning. Right, what Dingo said. Do I practice Seder, Isaiah? No, nope. Um, I haven't tried to get into that. I haven't felt an interest or a draw or a pull into doing it. Most of what I mess with in terms of like the metaphysical or the mystical type stuff is the runes, you know. So does runology, does rune work, does that fall into like Scythe work? Mm, maybe a little bit, but not for me to the extent where I practice you know, trance type states and whatnot. I'm actually going to be doing a video next week. I have Ivy Mulligan coming on here to uh, talk about the Guild of Foreign Scythe. She is a Scythe Kona. She does a lot of the Volva type spiritual and mystical things, and she's a very well educated and well studied Volva, and has served the community for decades in that capacity. So really excited to have her join me next week. It won't be streamed live, but it will be premiered live. So you guys will be excited to hear and see from her, I hope. And she's the expert or an expert with regards to Scythe work, spa work, um, and all that kind of stuff. They're also often not the most smartest animals on the planet either. Yeah, yeah, we see that every day, right? Every day. I was where I was and something just came to mind, and just like that, it went away. I'll think about it here in a second. I'm like, I saw something that was pretty stupid. But when you say like, people are not the smartest animals on the planet, I was thinking, yeah, I saw something the other day. Uh, Dude running across traffic, like like they weren't like animals will run into traffic and get hit, because they're not the brightest. But a human was like literally just like running across the street. Like you can wait for traffic to clear. Like you don't have to play dodge the car, or what do they call it? I think my wife has called it just Frogger, where you're like zigzagging in and out of traffic. I'm like, yeah, see, this is why aliens don't want to mess with us and they don't want to visit us, because they see that and they go, next. you know. But there's Kenaz. So be excited for next week. Well, thank you, Heather, and thank you for tuning in and watching, and sticking around with we got now 27 minutes to go for the Baldr video. I think you guys might like this one. It's a little bit of a different style, Um, very much UPG. I'll put it that way. But I hope you guys are going to enjoy it. So look forward to that. There we go. So, yep. I think tomorrow we've got a family get together. I'm going to go see some exotic animals. There's an exotic pet expo that comes around here every so often. My wife and I are going to go check that out before the family get together thing. So we'll take a look at some lizards and other critters. Kenaz scares you, Alex says, not sure why. Uh, there's I think there's a bit of in almost all the runes, just like there's one, like some people will be like, ooh, if you draw that rune, that could be a bad sign, or if you draw this rune, it could be a bad sign. I think there's duality in the runes, regardless of what may be happening. So the meaning of the rune can sometimes answer those kinds of questions. If there's Kenaz is, at least in modern times, it's usually looked upon as the torch for illumination, lighting a fire to illuminate the path. It's not knowledge itself, but it is the seeking of knowledge, the search for the knowledge. But in the old rune poems, uh, Kenaz is Kaun is another name for that rune, and that rune in the old Norwegian and Swedish rune poems, I believe, um, and maybe even the old English. I'd have to go back and look at which rune poem they refer to it as like the boil. If I remember correctly, nothing to do with a torch or lighting of a way. Maybe fire, burning, boil. That there could be some connections with that. But it's cleansing. You know what I mean? It's a light of illumination, but it could be considered like a light of cleansing through purging. I don't know. Sometimes I think about the runes and I go off into these like, not say tangents, but start thinking about, again, like the duality of the runes and what good and bad respectively parts there are that exist and how they correlate to so many other things and like nature. What are my thoughts on people making new sagas and stories for the gods? Isaiah, we live in saga times. There's enough going on in the world that the sagas that are being written will be stories of legend one day. You know what I mean? Look at the things that we in our generation have survived and lived through. There's Gabo. Look at what's going on in the world. Almost every time you turn around, just stuff that's, never in our wildest imaginations would we have thought we would see. Things that just, blow your minds, make you scratch your head like, how does this even happen? Well, but making new stories for the gods, or of the gods, there's plenty of things, like I said, that could be going on. And if somebody wants to create a stories based off of an experience that they had, or do stuff like that, I fully support it. Like the stories that we learn from, or the stories of the mythologies and the lore, like they exist now because of a reason, and people that wrote those stories and that documented those stories, like, why can't that be done now in today's day and age? So I think it should be. I think it's important. Thank you, Jamie. Really awesome to know that they help you with your writing. Reading was first learning the runes that it can be a disease, measles of the torch, interpretation for me every time. Okay, messes up the torch. Yeah, the disease, like a boil. Matter of fact, if I were to, let's look here, because I'm curious now myself. In both the Norwegian and Icelandic rune poems, it's so in the old Norwegian, Kaun erbarna voven, and I'm not going to read it because I can't read Norwegian, is ulcer is fatal to children. Death makes a corpse pale. In the old Icelandic rune poem, it's disease, fatal to children, and painful spot, and abode of mortification. The Anglo-Saxon rune poem is the torch. Okay, so it's the Anglo-Saxon rune poem that refers to Kaun as the torch. And in that rune poem, it's the torch is known to every living man by its pale, bright flame. It always burns where princes sit within. So yeah, the boil, the ulcer, the disease, is what the old Norwegian and old Icelandic rune poems refer to it as. Hail and welcome, Alexis. Kenaz is also called ulcer. Yep, we just mentioned that. Good recollection there. Kenaz has a negative side of illness, but Kenaz can also be the fire used to burn away the illness. Right. That's like I was saying, like before, like the duality of the runes. It's like Hagalas, Hagal, the hailstone. There's necessary change. It's destructive. It tears things. It destroys things, but there's a necessity to it. And if you look at like the sequence of the order of the runes, they they almost like fall in line with each other. You know, when you finish with one and you move to the next in their sequential order, you're seeing kind of like a natural progression of things that you would see in nature. You know, um, glad you said that. Yep. Do try not to talk too much in these chats, but honestly, get excited when they fall into your own time zone. Great, Maria. Talk away, please. I love to see. What I love to see is I love to see the chat flowing. That lets me know like there's engagement. Even if I miss something, I'll try to go back and look. But I love to see conversation. I love to see people engaging in the live chat that way. So please, chat away, and I try to be engaging as well. Talk. But when I'm doing, stuff like this where I'm crafting a bit, my eyes are not always going to be on the screen to catch everything. So if I miss you, I sincerely apologize. And we just are finishing up Freya's Et on this rune set, which are the first 8 runes of the Elder Futhark. One thing I've not ever done, and I don't know why. It's not like it's not like I make a conscious choice, but I've never made a younger Futhark rune set. I've never made a rune set that is anything other than the Elder Futhark, with the exception of I have, and I still have yet to finish a. You guys know like the dwarves from The Hobbit, J.R.R. Tolkien, their language, their runic alphabet. I've done birch runes of that, and I got this really neat box that I was working on for like months as a project, and I never finished it. I put it aside and I never finished it. So I've got like a whole. I want to finish it and then offer it for sale, but it as like a novelty item because it's going to have um, some dwarvish kind of imagery to it. It's going to have a phrase that was featured in The Hobbit or The Lord of the Rings. That's spoken in was it Huzdul, the language of the dwarves. And then the Karak runes, I think is what they were called. The Karak runes. Those were the runes that were used to write in the dwarven language. So, and there's like 30 something, 37, 38 runes in that whole thing. So it was a project that I started and I just never finished it. But aside from that, all the rune sets that I make have always been Elder Futhark. They just tend to be the ones that everybody wants. I would love to see communities going out and interacting with other communities, not just staying in their bubble. We've got a decent community in our area here, Isaiah. And before the pandemic, we were trying to make pretty regular public gatherings. We call them park moots, pub moots. About once a month, try to put something on for the public to come and meet each other and meet new people. We were doing that pretty regularly, and then COVID. But I definitely want to reintroduce that around here this year, especially now like spring's here and we've got nice weather and people, the regulations and the restrictions and stuff are being a bit more relaxed. There's a vaccine out now. La 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 la. We're ready. Like we're ready to get back out there and meet people safely, and try to build up our community a bit more. Didn't mean to blow in you guys' ears. How rude, huh? Um, realize on laptop and don't have thumbs up emoji. You guys, when I get to this, when I get this thing done where you can like join or become a member of Midgard Musings here on YouTube, there'll be custom emojis that you can use. One of which is going to be the Midgard Musings logo. So it's kind of cool. At least I think so. Try to make all this fun and exciting and engaging for all of you. sometimes. Ancestry on both sides, as I have ancestry on. Sorry, Maria, reading your comment there. Doesn't mean I'm focused in that sense, but man, do I have opinions on that. Yeah, the big F word in heathenry. You know, I had somebody talking to me earlier today about someone. I'm going to leave names and stuff out of it. But they were like, well, this person has something about them based off of what other people in this organization that I'm in know them as or know them by. And I'm like, I've known this person at least from an online status or an online standpoint for long enough that I've watched and monitored their activities online to not see what this person was telling me I should be seeing or might be seeing. And I'm like, where are you hearing this from? And they, are like, well, it's from certain people in this, and there's another national organ. I'm like, I really don't care with these national orgs and stuff anymore. I've separated myself from a lot of them. Not that there's necessarily anything wrong with certain of them. Some of them definitely are. Like, you'll never hear me say anything good about the AFA, ever, and I will always despise the one who runs that organization, or if he even still does or is. But yeah, it's always like, it's all about the he said, she said, this, that, thing, or the other. And I'm like, I don't even care, Hey there, Todd, Rudolph, hail and welcome. What's tonight's beverage, Godfrey Bear? It's scotch. I'm back on the scotch, but in way less volumes. You guys have been following me for any length of time, or the podcast or the channel, and know kind of the last live stream that we did, I didn't have any scotch and wasn't drinking for an extended period of time. But I didn't quit it for like 100%. I've just drastically cut back on the volumes. So that's what it is. Yeah, Maria, yeah. So kind of what I'm talking about when it comes to that. Chainmail is a Saxon heathen. Cool. I know some Saxons or Anglo-Saxon heathens. Know some of the from an online level. Like, I don't know any of them in person. Hell, really no in person. Let's say one guy I know incorporates some Saxon heathenry into his practices, but I don't think he's 100% Saxon heathen. Could be wrong, but again, he refers to himself as a Germanic polytheist. That's a pretty generic term, non-labeling, more, not really more specific. I use the term Norse pagan for myself or Germanic pagan for myself, but I think the Norse aesthetic of things, the Norse way of things, fits more of what I am and what I do, at least for now. So good to see another Saxon heathen joining us here, or being a part of it. It's nice to see that diversity. So that's cool. How long did you get with no drink? 3 weeks. 3 weeks. I was on a cleanse detox program. No tobacco, no alcohol, no nicotine, I should say, no smoking of any sort, no caffeine, none of that. And it was a cleanse program that I was on. So I had to do it to reset my body, to reset my physical body and mental health with a lot of things. So that first week was, I would say, probably the first half of the whole 21-day long program. First week and a half was, I did not want to continue it. And my wife, bless her heart, she she had to put up with my aggravation and my irritation for that 3 weeks. But I learned a lot from it. And like I said, it helped put things back into perspective. Interesting that we are talking about this again while I'm on the rune, which I am on, because as we talked about before, with or the way I look at, the duality of the runes, we mentioned this rune, and there's a necessary, there's a need for change, right? There's a need for that destruction to come into the life, or come into life, and that's what Hagalas is about, right? The hailstone. It's inciting change in a very drastic and pretty violent sort of way, and that's what I had to do. I had to cut out everything in my life that was causing me problems and not helping me in order to get myself back to the place of my life where I needed to be. So Agalas for sure. So we got 9 minutes left on this live stream before the premiere of Baldr's, the Baldr video starts. Manic Heathen is great, shortened for I need more sources. Yeah, like where did you read that? What's your source? Have I been known to say that a time or two? Yes. Why? Because people sometimes get online and they spout nonsense thinking that it's fact, and it's not, and they're not correcting themselves to say, hey, this is just a thought, this is just my own opinions. There's no disclaimer, and people that are new to things, that are learning, there needs to be that separation, right? So if you're going to get online and you're going to put stuff out there and you're going to say things, like, you need to really be careful with what you say, as and if you're trying to pass something off as fact, then you should have sources to back it up. Otherwise, please include the fact that you're just sharing your thoughts. But I've seen things being passed off as fact, like, oh, this is how the Germanic pagans did it at the time. Okay, where's your source? If you're telling me that this is how my ancient ancestors did something, then you best have something written down that proves it. Otherwise, you just and you usually get things. Well, I read it somewhere. No, you probably read it on another Facebook group or another Reddit thread or somewhere else that they were more rubbish. So, like, have I been known to say that a few times? Yes, but I challenge it because I've been challenged on that stuff before too. Like, I've heard some great things. I'm like, well, yeah, this is how they did it, and they're like, what's your source for that? And sometimes not all sources are good. Not all sources are good sources. There's a lot of trash out there that, again, people claim to be, factual about things, and they're not. Argyle scares you too, especially when Wardern is chanting it. Yeah. I don't know. I am a bit of a crazy person. I do things sometimes that, for the thrill of it. I eat super hot peppers or foods that my mother and father are like, "What is wrong with you? Why are you hurting yourself like that?" I'm like, I don't know. I like it. Like, I like the pain. There's something about it that just is, primal. I don't know. It's exciting. Not like a full blown adrenaline junkie, but like, there's parts of me that are like that. So, like, the storm, the rage, the fire, all that kind of stuff that has the potential to be so damaging or so destructive. I'm like, let me at it. Let me get there. Let me be a part of that. Let me do that. Yeah. The reason I don't get into heathen Facebook groups, every time I ask for a source, I get screamed at and about. Man, I'm sorry that you hear that happens for you, Maria. But yeah, thank you for the Jamie Gregg says, cool Mueller. Thank you. Saxons also have Imsul instead of Yggdrasil. Yeah, I found that whole thing to be very intriguing as well. Missing a lot of opportunity to learn more about that, but from what I've seen online, some articles and some sources based on it, I'm like, I want to learn more about that, because pretty intriguing to me. Dingo can relate to the hot food. Yeah. Robert Muldoon, what's up? Greetings from Knoxville. Got a few days off. See, that went live. Notifications got me fired up. Well, cool. Yeah, we're actually about to premiere another video here in just 5 minutes. So when I end this live stream, you guys will hopefully be able to meet me over here at the Complexities of Baldr video. For those that don't look at the pinned note in the live stream chat, here it is. That'll be the link that hopefully this live stream should redirect to. So it starts in, you know, less than 5 minutes, or just about 5 minutes from now. So welcome and hail. And what's up, Matt Petrie from Odin's Beard Woodworking in the live chat, working through Nowthese right now, talking about fire and hailstones from the runes, you know, Hagalas and Imusul. And now I'm at the rune Nowthese, which itself is necessity, the need fire, you know, that necessary force, or that necessary catalyst to get her done. You know what I'm saying? I like Nowthese because, again, there's that action first kind of thing going on. You know, it looks like, if you were to look at it, it looks like two sticks. Well, it is like two sticks crossed, but it's like how you would, if you were to start a fire. You know, you have your two sticks that you rub together, and it looks kind of like what you would do to start a fire. At least that's the way I look at it as. So. Yeah, Matt, we are about to stream the premiere of the Complexities of Baldr. Figured I would go live here for about an hour beforehand, so we started this live stream an hour ago, nearly. And yeah, I'll be stopping it here in just a couple of minutes so we can all get ourselves settled in at the other video. And you guys can hear what I have to say about the Shining One. I did a video about him during my deity discussion, or for my deity discussion videos a while back, but I'm going to talk a little bit about some other things with regards to him this time. So be cool. So it should be about that time as soon as I get done with this rune. And hopefully you guys will be getting those notifications, or have gotten those notifications. There's a live premiere about to start over on Midgard Musings, and you're like, yeah, I know. I'm sitting here talking to him about it right now. Where are you? Right? So, there it is, Isa. The icicle. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Seriously recommend Jesse's Day Discussion Series. Well, thank you, Maria. And thank you, Robert, Isaiah, spaghetti or ravioli. Man, I'm a spaghetti guy, but I love pasta. So, yes, thank you, Dolly Ferguson. What's up? Hello, Matt again. So thank you all for, tuning in and watching the live stream. I will see you guys over on the premiere that's about to start in just a couple of minutes. So once again, the link is in the live chat. So I'll see you guys over there. See you soon.